Guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Father's Day and tomorrow is Juneteenth holiday. How can I talk to the people on this channel about the Maverick? Now, during that time, the Maverick was back, but there was more going on in the background than what I actually said, because there was some issues that needed to be resolved, and I honestly had no idea how that was going to work out. So if we reflect back, previously I dropped my car off at the Ford dealership and spent 1 day less of 2 weeks there to be repaired. On the Saturday that the vehicle was ready, I went to pick it up. No one had called me, but they told me that the vehicle was ready. When I picked the vehicle up on that following Monday, because I went all the way to the dealership on a Sunday and they were closed, I was angry about that a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. The dealership was closed on that Sunday, so we went back on Monday, picked up the vehicle from the dealership. Now, I told you guys, when I picked the vehicle up, the engine light was still on. I was told that the engine light would go off by itself after a certain number of cycles on turning on and off. Okay. Now, I had gotten Ford customer care involved, and that previous week they had told me that they would call me. They were going to contact the dealership on that Friday, the Friday before the Monday that I actually picked it up. And they said they would call me on Friday to let me know. They were going to get in touch with the dealership and find out what is going on, whether it's been repaired. Never got a call from customer care or the dealership. I got a text on that Saturday saying that the vehicle was ready to be picked up. And as I previously said, I got the vehicle. The engine light was on that Monday. Now, fast forward from that Monday all the way to the next Friday. Friday of the same week, the Monday that I picked it up, some 5 days later, the gentleman who I talked to on Ford customer care calls me and says this. He says, he says this: I finally got in touch with the dealership because they were hard to get a hold to. And I said, yes, you told me you were going to call me Friday and I didn't get a call. He says, well, I had a problem getting in touch with the dealership. Now, 5 days, a whole week after he told me he was going to call me, Ford customer care, the people who are supposed to be on top, getting the dealerships to do what they're supposed to do. He says, well, they told me that you picked your car up. Is everything okay? Now, at that point, I had driven the vehicle from that Monday to Friday every day to work, cutting the vehicle on and off the whole time, and yet the engine light was still on. So when he talked to me on that Friday, I said, well, sir, no, everything is not all right. I said, I picked up the vehicle. 1, you didn't call me. 2, the dealership texted me and let me know to pick up the vehicle. I said, now I've had this vehicle for over 5 days and the engine light is still on. He follows that up and says, well, when I went into the system, your vehicle is still showing that the recall is open. I'm not sure if the dealership knows how to reset the information and close out the recall. Now, I don't know the ins and outs of how that's done. But to tell me that the dealership does not know how to close out a recall, before you can close out the recall, I think the engine light needs to be off. So I said, what should I do? I'm asking him now. What he tells me is, the only thing that I can suggest to you is to take it back to the dealership and let them take care of it. At this point, with the 12, 13-day ordeal, plus a whole week with the engine light on, and you're telling me that they don't know how to turn the engine light off, and the recall is still open, do you honestly think that I'm going to take my vehicle back to this same dealership and think that they're going to do it right this time? And the answer is no. I told him, no, sir, I am not taking it back to that dealership ever again. One, the service was terrible. No one calls me, and for me to take my car back to that dealership is unacceptable. I'm not taking it there. That's exactly what I told him. I said, as a matter of fact, the appointment that I had at my local dealership that I bypassed to take it back to the other dealership, I said, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it to the dealership that I had the later appointment with. I don't have anything to lose at this point. I'm going to tell them the same thing you told me, that it still has an open recall on it. It has not been reset, and the engine light is on. And then he tells me, yeah, well, you can take it to any Ford dealership and blah, 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 but we prefer that you take it back to the dealership that you got, that worked on to begin with, because sometimes the dealership doesn't want to get involved with another dealership that has done shoddy work or something that has not been done correctly. I get that, but I promise you, sir, I am not taking my vehicle back to that dealership. So here's what I do. I know it's coming up. It would be the next Wednesday. But that next Wednesday, I had an appointment with a dealership that is not far from my house. If anything happened, at least I could go there and get my vehicle back, and I could actually get in someone's face and talk to them. I'm not expecting any of that. This is more of a smaller dealership, kind of like a hometown type situation. I'm hoping for the best, because at this point I've already experienced the worst. How can it get any worse than what we've already had? So I took the vehicle down to the dealership the night before. I talked with someone. They were very pleasant. They told me, here, just put your keys in the drop box, and as soon as they get in the morning, we'll have someone take a look at it. I even told them, I said, here's what happened. I told them the name of the other dealership and how customer care couldn't tell me if the recall. And when I asked him, I said, how do I know? When I had talked to the customer care guy about the open recall still showing, I said, how do I know that they even did the work on the car? How do I know that they just didn't put the vehicle back and just tell me to take it? I have no way of knowing that. What would you say? So I dropped the vehicle off. The next day, I called the dealership, and they told me that they had ordered the tank for my Ford Maverick, and it would be in the next day. Now, I know you guys are thinking, yeah, that's the same thing the other dealer told you. But here is the question. And I'm not even going to come up with an answer. I'm going to let you guys just listen to this and come up to your own conclusions. If this dealer ordered me a tank, then, and now they said they took it down and inspected it. I don't know. Did they do? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate whether they did or did not. But they told me they ordered a tank. Even if they didn't inspect it, they just went ahead and ordered a tank due to the recall that is open that would tell them, yes, that the tank needs to be replaced. I get that. That's fine with me. I don't care at this point. Just put my tank in there, get my vehicle engine light, and get my vehicle back to me. So that's what they did. They said they ordered a tank. The next day she said, I will call you and let you know when your vehicle is ready. I didn't wait until the end of the day because I didn't want to wait till the end of the day and be disappointed and angry and not have time enough to go down to the dealership. So I called about 3:30 the next day. Your car is done. However, we did not turn the engine light because there was another part that we had to order that was not in. But you are certainly welcome to come get your vehicle, and when that part comes in, we will call you and put it on and turn out the engine light. now in one day. It wasn't 12 days. I called, I got somebody on the phone every time. It was no issues because I was kept in the loop of what is going on. Now, the issue that I have now is my trust in service departments has diminished. Now, I've never had a lot of dealings with service departments, and I told you guys a long time ago, most of the work, maintenance work that I have done on my vehicles, I do myself. So all of this, as far as dealing with dealership maintenance departments, is not brand new because I've had it done way back when, but not recently. So my confidence that I can take my vehicle to the dealership and get something done has been completely wiped out. I'm trusting this dealership. They seem to be forthright. I went down, I picked up my keys, I picked up my vehicle. I'm driving in it right now, and yes, the engine light is on. The only thing that is left for them to do is to follow through, let me know when those parts come in. It takes me 15 minutes from my house to get there. They'll put it on, they'll turn the engine light out, and this whole mess will be over. And as far as who ordered what tank, who didn't order a tank, what did or didn't get done, I just don't care at this point, because I just want this version of this recall nightmare to be over so I can move on. I want to do Maverick content, good stuff that lets all the people, there are people who have used this opportunity to let me know about other brands of vehicles that they have that are so much better than the Maverick. And I have tried to answer every comment that comes across my YouTube channel. But there are some comments, if you don't get an answer, don't get in your feelings, but there are some comments that are just plain, I'm not going to call stupid, that are not very wise or knowledgeable comments. Those people who say, I would take the vehicle back, I would check to see if there's a lemon law. Do you really understand that my Maverick drives beautifully? It runs perfectly. It gets great gas mileage. There's nothing wrong with my Ford Maverick other than the fact that someone in production or otherwise who was in charge of putting the spray and bed liner, somebody took a drill and cleared out the holes in the bed, drilling holes into the gas tanks of pretty much all those vehicles who had the spray and bed liner on the first run of Mavericks that left to the dealerships. Other than that, there's nothing wrong with my Maverick. I don't have a lemon. I don't have any problems with this Maverick. Even with the engine light on, this Maverick runs fabulous. And right now, I am averaging 23.5 miles to the gallon. I have not been driving on the highway. It's just city driving. I love my Maverick. I have not enjoyed the service that I have gotten at the service department, but I have had numerous people, and if you look into my channel in the comment area, you will find people of all brands and makes saying the same thing. They're getting the same type of service. It is not brand specific for all of you guys who have Chevy Colorados and Toyota Tacomas, and I'm not singling you guys out, but you guys comment more than anyone on my channel, which kind of makes me curious as to why there are a lot of Tacoma and Colorado drivers on the Maverick channel. Maybe they want to see what all the noise is about and why these vehicles are selling like hotcakes. Because they're nice vehicles. They do exactly what they're supposed to. And I'm enjoying mine. I really am. I'm not enjoying all this drama that we've had with this recall, and we are ready to turn the page. So, you draw your own conclusions as to what happened at the first dealership, what repairs were done, and what the dealership at the second place has done to correct it. I'm just glad that it's getting fixed. The object is not to bash the dealerships or to bash service departments. All departments, whether it's in a restaurant, we all have issues with service someplace right now. That's the way it is. So if we just bash the the whatever company and say that, oh, that's what it is. No, some people even have chimed in and said that their dealerships are great. So we can't say it's all dealerships. We can't say that it's Ford. We can't say that we have to call a apple and a spade a spade. So do your best to get all the knowledge about every dealership that you drop your car off to. Find out before you drop it off. Is this a dealership that is known for having issues like this? And if you have the option of taking your vehicle to some place that's different than the dealership that's right in your neighborhood, then I would say do so. And that's just about all I've got to say. Other than the fact I love my Maverick. She takes off too. She takes off and goes. Yes, she does. And please, no one comment about the hyper flash on my signals. Yes, I do have switchback lights. I can hear mine just fine. Does that bother me? No, it doesn't bother me at all. I don't care about if it hyper flashes. If it flashes a little faster, whoopee, oh well. Get over it. You're not the one driving this, I am. So if it doesn't bother me, then that's all it is. Anyway, I know this is a long video, but I felt like I had to tell you guys something because it's what happened. I thought about, well, should I tell them? Should I just go on? No, I owe it to you guys to tell you exactly what happened. And what I have told you in these last few minutes is exactly what happened. Is this over? I hope and pray that it is. I hope within the next week or so, maybe a couple of days, that those parts will come in. I'll take my Maverick back down to the dealership. They'll install the parts with, and they did tell me, but it was I think they said some type of vent tube. I'm not sure. And the person that was telling me was not very knowledgeable about the part because the actual service writers and the mechanics were already gone when I got there. So they really couldn't give me an accurate description of the part that was needed. So as soon as the part comes in, I'm going to take my vehicle down there and hope and pray that they just reset the engine light and this whole thing will be over and we'll go back to more normal Maverick content where we enjoy the Maverick, take the Maverick out and do some things. And here's what we're planning. I'm hoping to be able to let you guys know that we are planning a meetup in the DMV area. Anyway, we're thinking about having a meetup of Mavericks in this area. I've seen quite a few more Mavericks out, and we might have a meetup where we just get together and just have a lunch or something and talk some Maverick and just get out just to meet people and just have a good time. And I'll be able to meet some of you guys. I've met and had some great relationships with people who have come to the channel, and it would be nice to put my eyes on some of you guys. So we're planning that. So keep watching the videos, and I hope to have that for you soon. But remember, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.